Okay, I think I am live. Hey friends, it is Stephanie with Festive Creations by Stephanie, where I teach people how to make beautiful things. And I actually sell the supplies to make those beautiful things. And I teach you how to grow your online business. Come on in and say hey. And if you are watching me, that means that you are live on YouTube right now. I am actually going to find you on my video here on YouTube and send out a text message to let people know that I am live right now. If you would like to know when I go live, you can also join my text message system by simply texting me the word alert. Text me the word alert to 217-395-5348. And let's see, it does not say that I am live. Let me find, maybe I need to go to, I'm not used to just going straight to YouTube to go live, so give me a moment to, I'm at published videos, and let's go back here, your channel. Yeah, it says I'm live, okay, but where is my, there's live, okay. Yes, all right, I'm there. Whew, that wasn't it. Hey, Cynthia, hello, hello. I found you, I found you. So let me copy this link and get a link, get a text message sent out to y'all. And then we can kind of go from there. Woo, yes. All right, can you see me okay though? Can you see me, Carolyn? Okay. Now I'm trying to get back to the video. Okay, yes, yes, yes. There I am. Okay. Cynthia, can you, I'm assuming that you can see me okay. No news is good news, right? So because I don't normally go live directly on YouTube every time, please allow me just a couple of minutes for some hiccups and get everything situated. But I'm super excited to be here. Easter. Centerpiece. All right. I've had such a hiccup lately. All right. And send. Oh, it helps if I give it to people. Yep, there we go. And send. All right, so that should alert people that I am live, which is awesome. No. Yes. It's hard for me because I can't see chitter chat and I can't see me real time. I think we're there. I think everything is done. So let's talk about what's in front of me on the table. So first of all, we're going to be using this plate, but I want to talk about that for a minute on getting prepped for this. So I like to use, for centerpieces, I like to use things that are elevated. Think about ways that you can take it and step it up a notch. And I'm going to give you an example right now. If we were to take this boxwood wreath, right, and we have this plate, and look at how that takes this up a whole new notch just by placing it in between there. If you have a tray, a wider tray than this, you can set it on the tray and add some florals around it, maybe some lamb's ear, just, you know, add embellishments to the tray, but this centerpiece is going to be our main focal point. Okay, am I still live? I can't tell, folks. It says I'm live. Okay, that's good. I just would like to see it. All right, yes, I can see you. You're fine. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. That's extremely helpful. My video over here is so far behind. Let me maybe click that. I think that's my problem. Okay, now I'm current. I had it paused or something, maybe. All right, so just think about things that we can take to just step it up a notch. And that's one example. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use one of these rabbits that come from Festive Creations by Stephanie, and we're going to add it to our plate. But let's talk about this. This actually came from Dollar Tree, and let me do an over the head view. And so this came from Dollar Tree, and actually my sister made these for me. This is a bowl from Dollar Tree. She took E6000 and glued it to the bottom of a matching plate. If you're not sure what E6000 is, it's an industrial strength glue, and it's one of those things that's never gonna let you down. It holds any surfaces together. It is a great industrial strength hold. So we're actually gonna be using a little bit of E6000 today too. So let's get started, and the first thing that we're going to do is add some floral foam to our plate. Now, I also like to use the spray foam insulation, like gaps and cracks, and use it on my surfaces. I'm actually out of it, so we're going to use some standard floral foam, not that squishy kind, not for wet florals. We're going to use this hard surface floral. Another thing is, before I do that, I want to decide where I want my rabbit. Do I want him to sit a little forward? Do I want him to sit towards the back, off to the side? So all of that's going to make a difference on what I do from this point, because my goal is actually, my vision is to have florals behind him like he's sitting in a flower bed. But in order to do that, let me bring you guys back up front for a moment. So you can see I'm going to bring him so that his front paws are kind of hanging off a little bit. But by doing that, he kind of leans back a little. So I'm actually okay with him leaning back. If it bothers you, you can certainly take an extra piece of foam, a thin one, and put it underneath him to make him even. But I think kind of leaning backwards is not distracting at all, and it looks more a little more natural. But so we're going to add a piece of foam here, and we're going to add him to our plate. But keep in mind that your foam does not need to be a huge piece, because the more foam that you add to this, that means the more florals and the more space you're going to have to fill up. And when we're done, we should not be able to see any of this green foam. So I'm going to cut a piece that fits our area back here, and I'm not going to make it super large. So to cut foam, I love to use my serrated kitchen knife, and of course that one's just for crafting. So see how small my foam is? This is going to allow us to add florals around the side, up top, out back. So again, the larger the foam, the more it's going to take to fill it, and it can almost be too crowded if you get too much foam. All right, so let's take that and let's add it. So in order for me to glue this guy together, all of this, I'm actually going to use that E6000, and I'm going to use that in combination with hot glue. So the E6000 takes about 24 hours to cure. That means that you need to let it set up for 24 hours. Well, we don't have 24 hours today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it, and I'm not sure, I might have to cut this open. I need a new, oh, it's gonna come out, good deal. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a generous amount of E6000. If I can get it to come out, to both the foam and our rabbit. And then I'm going to top it off with some hot glue. So the hot glue will give you that instant seal or attachment, and that will allow us to be able to move forward while the E6000 is setting up overnight. Can you see me? And I did not see if that text message came through. Let me make sure that that did. Since I'm all discombobulated. Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. Keep in mind, E6000 is a very strong glue, so you want to be careful where you get it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I actually think I'm going to just put it on the plate itself, where we're going to go with our bunny, rather than try to put it on his behind. Again, a generous amount. Put my lid back on there. Pam, good to see you. Hello, Miss Beth. All right, so let's take our glue gun. Again, hot glue. We're going to add some hot glue to our bunny. And I knew I would need some more, so let me grab a stick real quick. So this will give us that instant attachment, and then overnight that E6000 is going to cure. And I want to make sure I get him really good. Perfect. And again, I wanted his front paws to kind of lift up off the table or off the plate or over the edge. That's the word I'm looking for. Would you please say where you got your bunny? Robin, Festive Creations by Stephanie.com. And actually all of my Easter, spring, and St. Patrick's Day and Mardi Gras is on sale. 40% off. I laugh because there's a reason for that. But you guys get to enjoy 40% off with the code Party Now. Party like Mardi Gras Party Now, N-O-W, all one word. So the reason that I am running such a huge, monstrous sale is, friends, I have overfilled my warehouse. I did a lot of shopping. I've stocked up way in advance. And look at him. Let me see how that's going to... I want to make sure. I might put just another smidge underneath him. So I have stuff going clear up to the ceiling on a 30-foot ceiling. Friends, you just have no idea. Okay. So, and I have 6 more pallets coming next week. Actually, 8 more pallets. And I have nowhere to put my new supplies. So, you guys get to reap the rewards with the code Party Now. Go to Festive Creations by Stephanie.com. And you can find all the Easter things and spring things that I'm going to be using today. That will be there. Okay, perfect. All right, so far so good. Let me change up here. And let's rock and roll. So I brought out, I have quite the variety of florals to choose from. And I really wanted this to be bright and springy. So I brought some lavenders, some purples, some spring green, and I brought some just solid, you know, like regular green, some more pink. I brought some fern, some fillers. There's all kinds of things that we've got to work with. So, of course, I didn't know what I was going to use yet. So here we go. We were just going to have a variety to choose from. That's the way I roll. That's the way I roll. All right. So one thing too is when I do florals, especially centerpieces, I may use my steel pick machine. If you do not have a steel pick machine, you can still use those wooden, I want to call them skewers, but they're not skewers. They're for florals that has like the wire on the end of them. I know I have some around here, but the wooden picks. So if you don't have a steel pick machine, I worked for years without one, and now I own two. I would not live my life without them now. I love my steel pick machine. Oh, Cynthia, thank you, thank you. I missed that part, right? Yep, the plate and bowl combination came from Dollar Tree, and we just turned the bowl upside down and used our E6000 to secure it to the plate. Now that was done ahead of time, so it was cured. It's cured. It's not going anywhere. If you're not familiar with E6000, it's a very, very good industrial strength glue. All right, so I'm just gonna take apart, oh, where did my tag go? Don't lose my tag. There it is. I have to keep my tag. So we're just gonna take apart our fern because I know that I'm probably gonna use all of this. And we're gonna start out with that. We're gonna start out with some greenery around the bottom. Okay, so my glue pot is heated up over here off to the side. And if you are new to making florals or using florals, when I heat up my glue, I heat it up to about the consistency of honey. Not nectar, honey. So most people can kind of appreciate that consistency. You kind of know what it is I'm talking about. All right, let's come down here. And so I'm starting near the bottom, and we're going to add some of our fern around the bottom. I need someplace else for this to sit for a moment. Let's come up here so I can use it. There we go. So remember, again, one of the reasons we went with a smaller piece of foam is the bigger your foam, the bigger area you're going to have to fill in. So that can get, I've done it. I've started out with too big of a palette, and then I ran out of florals because I didn't have enough to fill it in. And you don't want to be able to see that green floral foam when you get done. So I'm just kind of dipping my fern into the glue, and we're sticking it in the side, and I kind of want this to be my base. Perfect. So we're just going to keep doing that all the way around. Also, when I choose my florals, I like to choose different colors. So besides green, we have different tones of green. Where's my other spring? So we have this color of green. We have these colors of green. We've got this green. So there's different shades or tones of green that we're going to be integrating into this. The different tones help it look more realistic, natural. and definitely more appealing to your eye. So even if you did a design that used nothing but pink florals, just by changing the color of the green embellishments, the green fillers that you use can make that look totally different. So here's another one, this spring green. Actually, I'm going to be using this. This is getting kind of low in my shop. So if you like to use things like this, this is called a spring branch. And the last time I checked, it was getting pretty low. We're going to be using some of that. Let me put that aside. We're going to be using some of this one. And take that tag. So again, see how it has the lighter variegated colors on the end? So we're going to be using some of that. We're going to be using some pinks. I definitely wanted to bring in and make this more of a pink focal area. So I brought in some pink gypso, some pink daisy, some just a pink, it's called a lavender filler spray. I did bring some purple, and we might just put a touch of purple or just a light touch of yellow in there to give it a little bit of contrast. Hey, Miss Kim. Hello, hello. All right, so we've got our base here, and I'm actually going to bring some of this in next because I want it to kind of flow off to the side. So I'm going to bring this so it can have some dimension. And let me go ahead and just cut all of these. This is one of the pushers. So what that means is your florals can be pushed up towards the top. It has like little sliders on them. And sometimes that's really nice to have when you want to have the end of it to be a little bushier, or if you want it to be more spread out. It just depends on what look you want to go for. See if I can bring my glue pot just a little bit closer here, so I'm not going all the way over there. So I'm just kind of laying the foundation using some greenery. And I think we're going to have to re-glue my bowl on there. My sister actually put these together for me, and she did tell me that one of them she used just hot glue, and then she realized that she needed to use the E6000, so I may have to go back and add some more if this is the one without E6000. All right. So also, when we're going through this, I like to look at different angles. So can you see his behind there? Let me get this little guy out of the way so you can kind of see where it's starting to fill out. And so by turning it, looking at different angles, you're going to get a different perspective each time. And I like to use the whole thing. All right, so let me take some of this spring branch and we're going to add some more. Variety to it, and I want it to come up above my bunny. So what I mean by that is I want some sticking up behind him that goes above him. And what's really cool about this spring branch is you can bend it. So if you want it to be a little more off to one side, look, it's very, very flexible. And I think one more. I thought there was another one of those. And this one I'm going to trim down just a little bit. And right back in here. So now I have that spring branch kind of integrated throughout the design. Don't necessarily need it to stand quite that far out, but I do like them. Imagine this on as a centerpiece on your table, on a mantle, on a sofa table. Where do you put a centerpiece? Where do you decorate from? So, you know, whatever I do, I'm going to market it for that. This one would not fit well on my mantle because my mantle is only about 10 inches wide. And so this one would not sit on there. However, some people's mantles are much wider than mine. So I don't rule that out just because my mantle isn't super wide or isn't the widest in the world. All right, let's add a little bit of this. And if you are just joining, or even if you're watching the replay, what is today, friends? Wednesday. Yep, February 19th. I do have a sale going on over at festivecreationsbystephanie.com on all of my spring florals, including this little bunny rabbit right here. If you use the code PARTYNOW, like party now, no spaces. And that sale is only through Friday at midnight. So Friday, February 20th at midnight, right? Is it Friday the 20th? No, 21st. Lord. So again, let's take a look at what's happening up here. So you can kind of see where I'm placing these guys and randomly putting those in there. And at different heights. And I'll show you that in just a minute from a front view. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's also available at festivecreationsbystephanie.com. That is part of that 40% off. I know if you're on my email system communication, you got an email about it yesterday. So only people in my email list got the notification yesterday, but today I notified the rest of the world. But I kind of do that so it's kind of like a VIP list. If you trust me enough to give me your email address, I'm going to give you some perks. And that's one of them is you got a notification about that 40% off and you got first dibs. I love that for you. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit shorter. Let me bring you back around to the front for a moment. Oh, I can move this back now that I moved my glue pot. Okay, so you can kind of see what's happening back here. So you see I've added some of that pink in here randomly, but I've got some that's higher, lower, and it's random. Remember, Mother Nature is not perfectly symmetrical, so I'm not going to be either. Florals can be so forgiving. Really, it is the eye of the beholder that what looks good to you is more than likely going to appeal to other people as well. I'm loving this so far. What do you guys think? All right, so we've got that going on. I've got a few of our African daisies left. Actually, I see one more spot. I'm going to put one. So I'm not going to use all of it, but but I see one spot back here towards the bottom. And if you know me, Beth, you know me. When I do centerpieces, my favorite thing to do is get down on this level. What does it look like from the table level? So if I'm sitting at a table, I want to be able to see what it looks like at that level. And I literally get down to look at it that way when I'm designing it, so that I don't have any holes. I don't have any things that are uneven. Yeah, this cream color rabbit is very neutral, so you can put just about any colors of florals you want with him. And so I'm adding some of this pink gypso in here. So we don't want to necessarily go above our African daisies. Our African daisies are, the pink African daisies are our focal flower. But like this spring branch goes above it, but it's an accent flower. Just like this pink gypso, it's a light, airy flower. And it's not going to distract from our focal flowers, which are the pink African daisies. So we just kind of use this pink gypso as an accent and a filler. Oh, see, I told you, I'm going to have to grab that E6000. This is probably the one plate she didn't use it on. And I didn't think to check it before I went live. So I have two more down there on the ground. One has bumblebees on it, and the other one has a neutral kind of tone to it too as well. And I love that. I'm always at that level. Yes, exactly. So if I were to put this on my dining room table and I'm entertaining, you know, I want the guests to be able to see from any angle that it's a beautiful design. It should look pretty from every side. It's kind of what I'm saying. And come around this way. Yes, please. And remember, I'm definitely got some more colors that we're going to add in here. So that's just kind of an accent. I'm going to set that off to the side, and we're going to add some more accent flowers. I'm probably going to use some of that. Let me see if I want to use some of this right now. The way this is designed, the cuts on it, I'm definitely going, well, maybe not. Let me try one. I'm just looking at the height. So I don't want to use like the whole cluster in one spot, but I could if I spread it out like this. Let's try that. I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just going to kind of stick it in here and see if that's going to work for me. If I'm going to be able to, so I'm just kind of putting it in there and spreading it out and see if I'm going to be able to make it blend in, but I don't think so. Well, not at that height anyway. Maybe if I cut it down just a little bit more. I spread it completely out. That's not bad. That's not bad because we're still going to add more to some more filler. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it just like this where I've spread it out. Come right down in here, give it a good push, and then spread it out again so that my other, so it's not all one big clump. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I have two. I know I have two. There it is. So again, I'm going to spread that all the way out. Give it some diameter. Come over here, right about in that area. Y'all, Heather is back at the shop packing your orders as you're ordering those, taking advantage of that 40% off. We're both, I went down this morning and helped pack the orders. There we go. And trying to make room because literally, I should have taken a picture while I'm down there. I'm actually probably going to go back down there here in a little bit, but we have no floor space. And if they bring in 6 pallets, we have no, we can't even get them in the door because there's no place to put them. Whew. Let's add a little bit. Do I want to do like a lighter yellow? I don't know if I've got more than one of these. If I do, I might actually go with this yellow. I like this. Let me see if I can, if I brought 2 of those or if I only have one of them here. I thought I did a good job shopping. Yes, there it is. I usually try to get 2. All right. So again, I'm going to leave this all together. I'm just going to kind of spread it out. So this has that paper wrapping around the stems. And if you want to know any of the numbers for the items that I'm using today, let me know when I get done with this live. If you're watching the replay, I will be adding the actual numbers of everything I used into the description down below. Including that coupon code, Party Now. Friends, that just is that perfect. Just that light touch of yellow in there. I actually think maybe a 3rd one will be in order. So I think what I want to do is put another one right in here and then another one off to the side. So I will come back and add a 3rd one, but I just don't have it with me. So let's spread that out. We're going to go right in there. Give it a little again, spread it out. So I think one more right here towards the center is going to be a perfect balance, but you can kind of see right now. Can you see it? Let me zoom in just a little bit. So you can see where I brought a little bit of that yellow here. Let's bring a little bit more towards the front. Let's see if I can grab. So it has a little touch of yellow up there. Just a nice airy feeling for that yellow. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's see this. Again, every angle. Got to see every angle. So I feel like we have more yellow over here. Or yeah, so I'm going to tone that down with a little pink. Do we want to put just a light touch of lavender in there? Or I have, this one's fun too. This one in lilac. That lilac could be fun too. Ooh. Ooh. Let me see. Definitely some yellow there. And I want to introduce some lavender. No, I think I'm going to leave the lavender and lilac out, and I'm just going to continue with the pink. You like the lavender? Porcupines for dinner. Yeah, what are porcupines, Kim? Is that a Rhode Island thing? Pam likes the lavender in there. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is one of those stems that is, again, paper wrapped. So I want to try and keep it to a minimum when it comes to cutting it. So I'm going to separate it to where this is a cut. All of this is going to be a cut. These are going to be a cut. So I'm going to get about 5 cuts off of this. And I want to keep it together. If I have any problems, I can also go back around it with my own floral tape, but I can usually keep it together while I'm gluing it. And again, I don't want to overpower my African daisies because that's our focal point, remember. Meatballs made with rice and cooked in brown gravy. Okay, gotcha. Virginia, girl, are you bragging? Good for you. I'm wishing I was there right now. We're at, hang on a second. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 1 degree.
We're 18 right now, and it's going to drop that back down to 1 degree tonight. Yay. How fun. Wish I was there, Virginia. She said it's 80 out in California, where she's at. Pam, thank you. But girl, it's okay. Even if you wanted to add some lavender in there, it is still, lavender would still work. I just had a vision of kind of what I wanted it to be. And I didn't want to introduce too many colors into it. I just wanted some accent colors. Pink is still very popular for Easter and spring. And again, let me come around to the front and see what's happening. Kind of see. So I can tell I need to put a little more right in here to get some height going on. And I actually may come back in with the other, where'd they go? I think I have 2 more African daisies left on that stem, and we might just bring those right back out. So one thing I can tell you, I'm at myself, if I don't use all of the florals in on a stem, such as that African daisy that I said I had a couple left on, I'll never use them. Now, I used to put them in a drawer and keep them, you know, and I was like, well, I'll use them on a different project. Nope. 2 years later, they're still in the same drawer or in the bin or whatever, and I still haven't used them. So I finally just quit. I said, either use them in the design or get rid of them. So that's what I do. Normally I'll just go back in and I'll go, okay, it needs 1 more right in there. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to give it a little height right there. And a little more right up in here. Bring it around front so I can see what it looks like from this angle. Love it, love it, love it. That spring branch looks amazing in there. And if this is too tall for you, if you don't like it, we can just go back in and snip it off. We don't have to have that length that long, but that's how versatile it is. Okay, one more. I'm gonna bring, okay, so let me show you what I see. If you can see down here, right in here next to our rabbit, I feel like we need just a little more color in there. And do I want to add the gypso? I'm going to add a little bit of gypso, and I might go ahead and use the rest of what's on here. Let's do this one first. Use the rest on this stem so it doesn't go to waste. But do you see where I'm talking about? Right next to our rabbit on both sides. I want a little more around him. I don't work with flowers as much as I used to, and I truly love doing floral arrangements. So, friends, once you get started, you get hooked on them. Okay, there's that. Much better. And this little guy. Friends, I have 2 back-to-back grandchildren birthday parties this weekend. I'm excited. Emma and Eli are going to get to go to both of them. They usually go, Emma and Eli are a great niece and nephew that we have custody of. We're their guardians, and they're 9 and 10 years old. So they usually go to their grandpa's on the weekend. I don't know where that glue came from. But this weekend, they're going to stay with us and go to some children activities, and they're super excited, as well as I, that they get to go and be a part of with their cousins. A little better. Yeah, that'll work. Yes, yes, yes. I'm okay with that. All right, let's turn it around. I know I'm already zoomed in pretty good for you guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at this from the front angle. So you can kind of see how he is sitting in that bed of florals. Then if you look at it from the side, so again, I intentionally kind of left his feet hanging a little over on the side. So it looks like he's kind of sitting in that flower bed. And then the back side of it is going to look like this. So again, we want it to look good from all angles. And Kim, I love it. She said her Alexa answered me. I know I could really mess with a lot of people when I'm live, but I try not to. So that's that. And then let's come back over here and look at it from this view. So look at how full this is. It has You don't see, obviously you don't see any of that foam that we started with. And remember, we started with kind of what I would say a small piece. But did you think it was going to look this voluptuous when we started? Look at how much we added. We added one of the African daisies, two of this variegated spring, just a few snips off the spring branch, one of these flower sprays in pink, and we didn't even use any of that. There's several things. I like to have options. We've used almost the whole Gypso, and we've used a couple of the yellow sprays, and again, I'm going to add one more of the yellow to bring some yellow back here in the back. We used a Fern, and we also used another variegated greenery in there. I'm not sure what it's called. So we have quite the variety, but again, I want it to look elegant. I want it to look regal, and like, yeah, it's going to look beautiful on someone's table this Easter. Right? It might be mine. You never know. I usually make a new Easter centerpiece every year. So, and then don't forget too, let me come back up here and zoom out for a minute. Let's see. Image. If you joined me a little bit into and didn't see me at the very beginning, I also talked about how you can take things like this and embellish it, you know, so you could set it down inside of that boxwood wreath. By the way, these are also on sale at festivecreationsbystephanie.com at 40% off. If you have a tray that you would want to set that down into the tray and then lay some florals around it, or even some lamb's ear, some beads, you know, just to embellish it on your table. So it's super fun, super fun. Thank you, Cynthia. When my store gets a great place, they only have blue right now. Oh, you're very welcome, Cynthia. Yeah, watch, because my sister, I don't know when she got them, but I know she did not get them this year. It was at the end of last year that she gave them to me. So she probably got them last spring and summer, because that, like I said, the bumblebee one would be more of a summer design, but she did choose two neutrals, and I like the gray. The other one's gray as well. So I do like that. All right, friends, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, and that way you'll know when I go live here on YouTube. All right, friends, have a great day.